the 3-hook flapper. In my humble experience, gotta be the simplest of rigs. Now I use these for it, these swivel crimps. If you can't pick them up, you can just use normal swivels with a bead and a crimp, or a bead and a stop knot either side of the swivel. I've seen gents tie this with 3 hooks, 2 hooks, 5 hooks, 6 hooks. It's not a distance rig, it's one for keeping short in. I'm going to tie this one, actually I seem to be tying all my rigs at the moment, to around about 4 foot. So as always, I start by cutting my main line a couple of inches longer than my 4 foot mark. I'm just using for this, because it's what I've got to hand, some £70 ASSO Ultraflex. It's because it's what I've got in front of me. This rig typically, I mean, you can use it for big fish, but this one today that I'm tying is just going to be for whiting. And I'm trying these hooks once again in the care package from Sakuma. I've never seen them. They are a size 1 and they call them a phantom hook. Looks to me like a sort of take on the Uptide or an Aberdeen short shank. A little bit finer wire, but these are the Pro series, so they're really stiff. So just to sort of give you a bit of a look at the hook profile. Okay. Really shallow gape, should be alright for a worm hook, a worm bait, or a bit of squid or something like that, which, as we know, whiting, they'll take anything. So as always, main line, cut to length. Start with the power swivel, that's the attachment point I use to my main line, with, as always, a uni knot. Quickly knock this on, 2, 3. Lost me knot. What's that? 2, 3, 4. Bit of gob oil. So I'm always sure that looks absolutely amazing on camera when we do that as fishermen, but cinch it down, pull it tight. Click my tag end. So this rig, I mean this video, right. Camera freaked out. Power swivels on, and really quick rig. I don't even have these open actually. Is there an opening point? Yes there is. And I'm just going to tie 3 onto this. Although I just pulled out 4 swivels, I'm only going to tie 3. Couldn't be simpler. Slide all 3 of these on. 1, 2, 3. Tie your term link on the end, stop everything falling off. Once again, that's just my chosen lead connection point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take off my tag. Okay, so that's the rig body done. We just need to tie some hook lengths, tie them on. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. So I'm going to make my hook lengths just over around about 1.5 foot. I've got a 4-length rig body, should be plenty capable. What you don't want is the hook lengths able to hook each other quite so easily. So 4 foot hook length, hook rig body with 3 1.5 foot snoods on will give me about 1/2 foot to space out between the ends of the snoods. So I'll tie, or I'll cut all my line. I'll tie the hooks on and I'll come back to you once that's done and we're ready to set the rig up. Okay, right, so once again we're at a point where it's time to set the rig. And all you want to do with this is go around each hook length one at a time, get your hook length by the clip, not by the clip, by the crimp swivel, and just make sure it's not going to foul up on whatever the piece of equipment is that's down the line from it, and then crimp it in place. If you haven't got a pair of crimping pliers, I mean, they're not, you know, but they're by no means a must. But don't go crazy on the crimps. Just a little crush is normally all it takes, although these need that a little bit more, it seems. But you can't go back. Once you've crushed your white line, you can't go back, you know, and you've weakened your line. These ones don't seem to want to crimp, so we'll have to use the flat part and just do it by feel. There we go. Little squish, that's all it takes, little squish. If you over squish them, the crimp will bite down into your line and it will weaken your line. Alright, just a little squish. Don't go crazy with them. Pay attention to what you're doing. And then just get me, so that's the first one set. Alright. So if I hold that kind of taut, you'll see I've left myself about an inch from the next piece of equipment that's on the line. Same with the next one. Here's where I realise I've normally screwed up and tied them too long. Make sure that's not going to foul up. It's not. Crimp it down. I'm not going crazy, not damaging the line. And then the last one is more than likely going to be all the way up at the top. It's a little bit longer than I want. A little bit longer than I want. But for me, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, for me, I'm not going to worry about that. If I was selling this rig, I'd retie it or I'd put it in my rig tackle box. But yeah, for me, I'm not going to worry too much about that. I didn't lose as much in the knot, or I remeasured, or I measured incorrectly at some point. You could, I mean, I could. In fact, you know what, I will. So I've done it wrong. So what? How to make it right, cut it off. And retie the hook. And that'll give me about an inch back in length, which puts it roughly where I wanted it to be. 2, 4. So that was probably me rushing and mismeasuring, trying to get stuff done on video, and I did say I wanted to try and make this a quick rig. Let's just see how we're doing there. So yeah, I mean, it's just sitting where it could hook up on the swivel. In fact, it has. I'm not going to chase that. That's a couple of mil. I'm not going to chase that. We'll cinch that. Yeah, we'll cinch that at the top there. That's fine for me, that is. There we go. 3 flapper. Couldn't be simpler. You could put embellishments on this. You could put what you want, whatever you want on this. Realistically, these hooks are so sharp. You could put floating beads on it. You could put sequins on it. You could put, you know, this is a short, close-in rig that you're just going to lob out, and you're going to fish for, in my case, whiting, flatties. That's primarily what this will pick up for me. That's it, guys. 3-up flapper. I can't give you links to these hooks because I haven't been able to find them online, available online yet. But to some general purpose equipment, so rig terminal equipment that I generally keep in my boxes, there are Amazon links in the description below. They are affiliate links, doesn't mean that it costs anything else to you. just means that Amazon just do give me a little bit, like a penny or half a penny for each purchase. All helps the channel. That's it. That's the 3-up flapper. Very simple, very quick rig that can be thrown together. And it'll fish the margins. It'll pick up whiting. You can put different hook sizes on it if you wish. It's certainly not, I would class, a big bait rig, because like I said, it's not aerodynamic. It flaps through the air. It causes the right mess. It's just one for lobbing out, for close in. And it's my main whiting rig if I'm fishing for whiting for keeps. If I'm not tagged them, if they're going to be a bycatch, then I wouldn't send this. I'd be fishing with a pulley pennel or something with a big bait on, trying to get through them. But if I'm targeting them to bring home for the pot, then it's pretty much what I use. The only real amendment I make is sometimes I will make the bottom hook a fine wire, because that's one that's going to be sat on the bottom of the bed, bottom of the ground, bottom of the seabed, sea floor. Jesus, I get there in the end. I'll change that to a fine wire, because you tend to find that will pick up flatties. Or you could put a circle on there. It just, once again, bit of fish welfare. Try and minimise damage to bycatch as much as possible. Right guys, stay safe, tight lines. That's going to be all I'm filming today. Couldn't get out this weekend because the tides weren't right, the times weren't right, family commitments weren't right, so I've stayed home and I've tied a couple of these for you. Hopefully coming up soon is going to be some videos with a fair bit of travel involved, so I would appreciate your support. I would appreciate the likes, the shares and the subscribes. I'm just going to go through this and cut the tag ends off. Until next time guys, stay safe, tight lines, and I'll see you later.